Hi and welcome back. No secret now that Forever 21 has filed for bankruptcy and is closing stores in the US. I feel terrible. I have purchased some items. Really, I was looking for men's pants and then I noticed they still had items from the Sanrio collection on sale. So that's why I ended up getting. So let's go ahead and get this haul started. I haven't even opened it yet. It just came earlier in this afternoon. So let's go see what I got. Mostly it's sleepwear and some like comfy wear. Yeah, let's go ahead and dig right in. First, it's coming up here. And most of these were about 30 to 50% off. So I noticed that the pricing was different online compared to the in-store. In stores were about 20-30% off, while online were about 50% off and more, depending on the item, of course. And I believe this one was 50% off. Got a My Melody sweatshirt. I like the color, it's cute. Ooh, comes with like a little tag thing. That's cute. Does it have the... I'll pull up kind of like the total that I spent up here in a minute. This next sweater here, it was the Lunar New Year. It's actually kind of big and comfy. I kind of like that. Isn't that cute? And a little snake. Because it's the year of the snake. Alright. Oh, these must be the jammies. It must have been sometime last year that I stopped by for a 21 store, and the one in my area it's facing right the entrance of the mall, and I believe we were cutting through to get to the side of the parking lot where we parked, and these kind of stopped my tracks. And they're really cute, and I was looking at I'm still looking for like summertime pajamas, you know, some shorts. And I thought about it and I was just like, how much are these originally? Things were like 20 something. Doesn't say? Okay, that's weird. But they were originally like 20 something. And I was just like, can't justify it, so I didn't do it. But I think I ended up getting these like around $10-15. And I was just like, you know what? I'll take it now. I do. I generally feel terrible because I feel terrible in the sense is that the only people that walk unscathed is obviously the tippy top people. Right now, it's like with the job market the way it is, trying to find a job on top of that, dude, that's gonna suck balls. I also saw these in store that same day when I saw the other set, and basically what just made me be like, no, change my mind, not gonna impulse buy, was because the pants, they only had a small, I believe, and the pants were too long. And I remember I was like, I'll get extra small these this time, and these are My Melody, and these cute. I just hope they don't fall apart. Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought they were the slippers for a second. Alright, cinnamon roll is a good second for me. And it's fuzzy. Isn't that cute? And it's the perfect shade of light blue. This is like my favorite color, I swear. And more of these little cute little tag things. I think these are cute. I'll keep these. I'll put them on my case or something. Alright. Oh! I think I know which this one is. When I went in store last week, I believe it was last week, I saw this that they had it there, but I only had it in a medium, and I wanted a small. And this is like a little Kudomi onesie. Actually, I like the material on it. It's like thin and stretchy. Kudomi onesie. Oh, these are the matching pants to that My Melody pink crew sweater, crew neck sweater. So yeah, there's my Melody, and it has the little like flowers on the side. So this is the matching joggers to this. There was a Kudomi version of this, and it was in my cart, but by the time I was deciding on last minute things on what to get, it was already sold out. Oh, I really wanted this. I think this ended up being like $5 or something like that. I don't remember anymore. My Melody beanie. You know what? I don't care. I'll take the tag off later. Do I have scissors? Teehee. My Melody beanie. I was really wanting to wear this for the video. There you go. Teehee. Now I'm all in pink. Alright, let's keep going. Oh, and this is the last one. Some cinnamon roll slippers. So I had to like do like weird investigation online because I hate slippers that are like fuzzy inside because they make my feet sweat. I know that sounds gross because it is gross. So I don't like it. So I went with like kind of that smooth inside instead. Yay! Wow, these are really like thick. Okay, so that's what I got. So again, I got the cinnamon roll slippers, which will actually just cute. It matches the cinnamon roll sweater. So in you go. Then I have the matching sweatshirt with the joggers. Has a little flowers on the side, which is cute. Kudomi night onesie. The My Melody sleep set. These are pants, and because I'm short, I got the extra small. There's that one. And then another sleeping set, but this one has Sanrio and all the Hello Kitty and friends with the shorts, top, and it's actually really big for a small. And the Lunar New Year, you have the snake with my Melody. So that's the little haul. We did get a couple separate items. I also got, at least when I was in store, the kind of little sports bra that I'm wearing. Right, a sports dress that has the skirts inside, which is nice because as a tennis player, then I don't have to put like extra stuff on there. So I really like those. Oh, I almost forgot my hat. So more about Forever 21. The first store originally was known as Fashion 21, opened in Highland Park, California in 1984. The chain was founded by South Korean immigrants, Do Won and Jin Chang, hope I pronounced those correctly, who moved to Los Angeles in 1981. By 1989, Forever 21 opened its first mall location in Panorama City, California. Fast forward to the 2010s, Forever 21 grew to over 500 stores. In 2015, they reportedly had over $4.4 billion in sales. The founders' combined net worth was an estimated of $5.9 billion. However, around 2018, the company began to close stores, mostly in Europe. Shit hit the fan in 2019. The founders' combined net worth dropped to $1.6 billion or $800 million each. The family then decided to sell for an estimated $81 million to Simon Property Group, Brookfield Property Partners, and Authentic Brands Group, LLC. My sources are linked in the description box below. According to my reading, Forever 21's lack of attention to social media and use of influencers hurt them the most. Furthermore, they also struggled to compete with prices from their competitors like Shein and Temu. Another note was made that Forever 21 expanded too quick in physical stores when mall culture was in the decline. The current bankruptcy was announced earlier this year. Some sources speculate that this is an attempt for another buyer to come in like the first bankruptcy deal, but it doesn't appear it'll head in that direction. How does my story time fit in? Well, I was a former employee practically 10 years ago. I'm still bitter on what happened the last 6 months I was there, but I didn't sign an NDA. I left on good terms. There was a moment when I almost went back. Good thing I did it. My local store opened in the summer of 2012. I started working there in August of that year since I was starting college. The new job was the perfect transition to head into my college town. The first 2 years were great. Store was busy, there were plenty of hours available for us employees. Around the end of 2014, though, I began to notice some funky things. The first one was their subtle price change of an item, or at least the end, right? The suffix, if that would even make sense. The last bit, the cents part, right? You know how a lot of stores do like $15.99, $15.98, something along the lines with that. Well, from what I noticed, a lot of the ending price mark was 80 cents, something 80 cents, right? 1980, 1580. Then I started to notice some of the tags. First I was like, oh, that must be a misprint. And I was like, no, they started coming on that. So then the ending of a lot of prices ended up being a 90, right? 10-cent difference, no big deal, right? The customer won't feel it much, and it's really easy revenue to come in if it's substantial at all. It might have been, who knows? I don't. I wasn't there long enough, and I wasn't high up in the chain of command. Then the return policy changed. But it wasn't company-wide. Only select stores started to offer full refunds with receipt within 30 days. My store was one of the test stores since they would also get many Canadian customers. They were able to hit 2 demographics per se, at least at once. The original return policy that I remember was 21 days, must be unused, unworn, with the tag attached and original receipt for store credit or exchange. They absolutely did not process refunds, or at least from what I remember, were just limited to at least someone really made a fat stink about it, right? You know that yeah. If you work retail, we know. I still remember this because early on we had to say it after every transaction. We were advised to go as far as circle or highlight the return policy below. It was also like a safeguard, if you want to say, when a customer would come in all pissed and demanding a full refund. They'd also have the audacity to say that no one told them about the restrict return policy that the store had at the time. And of course, you would check the bottom of the receipt and it's all marked in a highlighter. And sometimes people would, depending on who checked them out, they would kind of like write their name, or circle their name on it, because it's like, hey, I talked to you, you acknowledge this. It was such a, seriously, my mouth could get getting dry because how many times you had to repeat the damn thing as trying to help them out and get them out of their, on their merry way. Many Canadians didn't like the 3-week return policy since many of them don't come down very often, and the merchandise that was purchased in a US store can be returned to Canada, even though they have the same thing. It's the SKU number, right, and how it's logged in their system. Everybody hated keeping the original receipt. I did too. But the problem was at the time that it would take almost a half hour narrowing down the date of transaction, which register was used, and the estimated amount of the entire purchase. Sometimes it would be really easy if they just purchased that one sweater or what it may be, because then you can just kind of guess what it'd be after tax and you'll be able to find that amount. Right, if like, and sometimes you can have to like pry information. It's like, do you remember how much you spent? How many items you bought? The system itself that Forever 21 was using for the point of purchase or the point of sales literally did not allow for returns, and even keeping track of that money, because you had to make sure you had to even out by the end of the night. Now all of a sudden you're freaking out. It's like, why are you under $30? And it's like, oh, because you know someone had to make a pain in the ass if you were a closing crew dealing with all the counts. Yeah. Even then, I understood that the strict return policy prevented them from a lot of business loss, but at some point, it's not going to be a sustainable practice. In the end, it just whittles down to people not wanting to take the risk on an inexpensive clothing item, knowing that it's gonna fall apart, and you also wouldn't be able to return it or for your money back, right? It's like, you understand this is what you get, it's yours now. That wasn't weird enough. They started an insider email subscription and a credit card around that time. I left right when the credit card was about to be pushed. I hate selling credit. I really do. It's the stupidest thing. Adding along to the weirdness, there weren't many articles about the return policy change, at least from what I could look for. I was able to find like maybe 2 sites that were talking about it. I was already squirming on the idea of selling credit, but it was so stupid to go into that direction, at least in my opinion. Their main audience is youth who can't even get credit cards, and 2, they could have expanded to the older shoppers with their Love 21 branding, but they never really committed to it. They're the ones who can't get credit. And I really wish they did too, because I really like the Love 21 branding. The sizing was actually a lot more true for adult sizing, right? Because their extra small was more like a small in the regular line. I just liked it better. I also noticed that the quality with the Love 21 stuff was a little better too. But that's from what I remember back then. Now, to how they pissed me off. The employee structure that I was hired into included store manager and assistant store manager at the top, followed by basically junior managers, head cashiers, merchandisers, and sales associates. I started as a cashier and I got promoted to head cashier until 2015 happened. There was a whole organization restructure which impacted store operations, or at least the roles within the store operations. They got rid of the junior manager, the head cashier, and the cashier positions. That I didn't care, but they docked my pay. Anyone who was now a sales associate making over $10 will be reduced back to $10 exactly. With my head cashier promotion, I was at $10.32. It's 32 cents, but still, let me keep my pay. After a couple months, I ended up leaving. But yeah, my pay was the biggest one, and I had a great relationship with my store manager. I showed up on time. I did my thing. I was fairly accurate with my own cashier tail, and that was the one thing too, because they were really, really strict on even the cash register we were assigned to. You had to be on the T. Always, even if you were over a bit, wasn't much of a big deal to being under a bit. So, and there'd be times that you'd be suspended from a cashier if you were like over a certain amount for repeated days at a time, or something like that. I don't remember, but things like that happen, right? And yeah, and after the whole restructure, it didn't really matter who was cashiering at the time. And I believe the reason that they did that was that when someone was cashiering and they were getting towards the end of the shift, it was a pain in the ass to count them out and making sure the new person comes in and counts it again to make sure to set a 200. And if you have a fat line, it's chaos. It's chaos. It was just weird. And why then? And why in 2015 of all times? I don't know. When I was in store recently, I couldn't help but ask the person who was helping me if they were allowed to say anything about the closure. From what they understood, there really isn't much that they can say since they're not being told much anyway. They don't even, at least at my local store here, they don't even know when the store will officially be closed. I shared them my little tidbit, and we're both not surprised how things turned out. Is anybody surprised? Looking back into all of this, I'm not surprised. And I could have sworn that they had a bankruptcy before that, or maybe they didn't. But the restructure, at least within the internal positions within store operations, when that changed, that was a big clue that things were just not heading in the direction that they wanted. And I also do remember that around that time, 2014, 2015, because the previous year's numbers, since the sales were pretty strong, they just became a lot harder to hit those goals. And again, with the whole culture of, of online shopping now, people don't go much into stores anymore. And I think they're totally, from my reading, they're totally right that they missed the mark on a whole social media influencer wave. And will they be missed? I'll be fine. Only because I did love their jeans at the time, for the most part. But when you get $12 jeans, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. I've gotten really picky with my jeans as I got older. I want them to not be too long, right? I look for a particular inseam, and also looking for kind of like a particular quality too. So I stopped buying Forever 21 jeans forever ago. But looking back now, the moment I stopped working there kind of was the moment I stopped buying so many clothes. And when you work there, it's really enticing because you see the new things that come out. And I remember there'll be a couple of us fighting for a couple things at the time. But it was cute. It was a moment. And it's just not what the consumer market is now. I've personally kind of moved down from fast fashion, at least as a consumer. For clothes, I know what I want, and what I want is something to last. I do have several Forever 21 pieces actually, and the only reason I've been able to make them last, for example my sweaters, is wash them cold and let them air dry. Another thing that I also liked about Forever 21 were their band shirts. I got a good chunk of my hard rock band shirts from there, so at least that was fun. I wish I had better variety though, but that's it. But yeah, ever since, I haven't really gone back to Forever 21 to really shop for my clothes. Yeah. Have you worked at Forever 21? Let me know in the comments what you think about this entire closure. And yeah, there was my little haul, at least my last purchase from there. We'll see how things go. Will they be bought up by someone, or is it just gonna go? We shall see. We shall see. If you want to keep following with my little antics and shenanigans here, my socials will be popping up here. And for those who like Zelda, I'm going through kind of my first walkthrough on it. Still not clearly done with that game, so that's something up your alley. Feel free to follow me there. And thank you for watching. Hope you all have a good one.